A huge shout out to the overthinkers. Overthinker, he watches the show. To the overthinkers. All about faith to this is Parker, yeah. Thank you, overthinkers.
Keep inspiring the next generation.
Shout out to the overthinkers. Tando Pela. Much love.
To my overthinkers, mamela ubuchopho ngeke buphume buyakhula nizinja nikhokho yazini as overthink siya overachieve.
I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it.
In the words of Coach Shorty, as overthinking, siya overachiever. Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is George Mokwena. I am your host, and this show is the place where we love South African football, we love African football, and every now and then, man, we go overseas and we laugh at Manchester United, but that is not the day for this. On Mondays, of course, it is the review show. The show is on every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, as well as watch-alongs when the big three are in action. So if Chiefs, Pirates, or Mamelodi Sundowns are in action, as well as Bafana, Banyana, we will be here speaking to each other, especially because this is a very interactive show where you can jump in and speak to me about whatever topic we have. Now, like I said, today is a Monday review show. We're going to be speaking about how the big three played this weekend. And of course, this was a special weekend because it's the Soweto derby. Kaizer Chiefs versus Orlando Pirates, a game that shouldn't have meant anything up to this point, now means so much because there's, there was excited Pirates losing out to Pyramids, coming back in. They need to beat Chiefs to technically, mathematically stay close to Mamelodi Sundowns. And of course, it's a build-up towards the game that's coming on the weekend for the Nedbank Cup, as well as Kaizer Chiefs, who, Kaizer Chiefs is sitting number 9 right now, but the teams below them, one's got a game in hand and could jump them, and a couple of them could jump them after winning a few games. So that's going to be very interesting. But we're going to start off with the champions-elect, Mamelodi Sundowns. They, of course, were in action this weekend. They played versus Cape Town City, and they beat Cape Town City 2-0. In terms of stats, Cape Town City had 4 shots, 1 on target. Sundowns had 15 shots, 5 on target. And then, of course, they had 68% of the possession versus Cape Town City's 32. Then Cape Town City missed all their big chances, but that is a little bit unfair because they didn't create any big chances. Then, of course, Sundowns created 3 big chances and only missed 1. Matthew scored in the 34th minute and then Reynolds in the 77th. Now, remember, if you want to add your voice to the show and be part of the panels, just know that you have to be following me here on TikTok. And then, of course, bottom of your screen, there's a blue man hugging a pink figure. And you click on that, I let you in. And you can add your voice to the show and tell me exactly what you think about what has happened. We're going to start off with Mamelodi Sundowns for the first hour. And then we're going to go into the Chiefs versus Orlando Pirates Soweto derby. So let me see who is here. And we can go ahead and talk about what is happening here. So, guys, feel free to request and jump in. Let me see who is here. Tommy, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, and hi to everyone who's here to discuss the beautiful game. And the big teams won over the weekend, so we're all happy.
Scary, the big teams. But anyway, Mamelodi Sundowns, 2-0 versus Cape Town City. How did you feel about this game?
Hey, to be a Sundowns fan nowadays, it's a bit of a mixed feeling, because I've been watching the show actually here, our team, and for the past month or so, and not requesting. I've seen some of the comrades are saying, "Hey, we wanted results and no longer beautiful game,
Yeah.
beautiful stats and beginnings." All these talks that I've heard over the month, but I'm just glad that our machine. This is now a train. Unlike years gone by, we've heard of other trains going and winning the league at transition. But I like the consistent lineup. I'm a bit scared about the guys who are playing so many games and we're not rotating like we've seen with the previous coaches that have been at the helm. So, but I feel very positive.
Do you still want to rotate now? Do you still want to rotate now, knowing that there's maybe 4 games left maximum? Well, 5 games. Yeah, let's say 6 games maximum. Do you think it is the right time to rotate now? Hey, guys, can you hear me? Tumi, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I think.
Kordani, can you hear me
Yes,
properly?
I could make out what you said. Just that.
I can hear you loud and clear, Mr. Oti.
Okay, Tumi. Tell me, should they be rotating right now? Tumi?
In the league, yes. Just to give, especially to the players that I think he might want to use going into the important games. I would love to see those guys getting some game times under their legs.
Okay. Tumi, how do you feel about Coach Cardoso at this point of the season?
I feel he's a guy that can change games he can react. He can see the game how it's going and react within that 90 minutes. Yeah. But I'm not so convinced, man. I'm used to dominating games. And I don't see a lot of big chances being created by Mamelodi Sundowns. That's one thing that is a bit unsettling for me.
But that's unfair to me. If you look at the game you guys played, 3 big chances, you've only missed 1. You had 15 shots and 5 on target, 68% possession. Khanti dominated.
That's a team lingering at the bottom of the table, my man. That's where I see us going rampant. I wanna see the dominance of Sundowns. Guys, we know Sundowns what it is. We know in South Africa we know what is Sundowns. Can we not act like right now this is the biggest Sundowns that we've ever seen? This is, I don't know, maybe he's cooking something. As a Sundowns fan, I'll be patient because I support the board, even though sometimes we question certain things, but I will never say I don't trust the management, though I can question certain decisions. And there's a reason Flemingberg is the director, I'm not, and Cardoso is the coach, and I'm a supporter.
Okay. Now I don't know. Okay, let me ask you one last question for this last minute here. If he wins the Champions League, do you then accept him because then he would have done something that Sundowns had only done under Coach Pitso, hasn't been able to do with the dominance?
Without sounding, I don't want to contradict myself too much, and give other guys a chance here. Over the weekend, we've seen a video circulating about of the Sundowns, the previous Sundowns. I've seen Pelembe finishing chance, and there's one particular move where people were giving sort of like a stand in the box. Then Kekana took a long. That is the Sundowns we used to see, very decisive and confident. But if he wins the Star, we are happy, and I'm happy. But I don't know. Cardoso is not my guy, man. But if he wins, he wins.
Okay. No, for time for jumping. Question for the comments. How do you guys feel about Coach Cardoso right now? Let me go to Kodani. Kodani, welcome to the show.
Hey, Mr. Oti, thank you. How are you? And how are you to the guys on the panel? In the comments, how are you guys?
Please don't ask me how I am. You guys know what happened this weekend to me, so please. Kodani, 2-0
now.
2-0 versus Cape Town City. How did you feel about the game?
Okay, Mr. Oti, let me start by saying this, Mr. Oti. I'm a Sundown support. I'm not an individual supporter.
Yeah.
So I'm from Venda. I'm original from Venda. Ne? I speak Venda, pure Venda and everything. But when I come to Joburg, for me to adapt and to maneuver things, I need to start learning some other language.
Yeah.
Mostly here in Joburg, you need to at least, Zulu.
Yeah, Kulume, man.
Language that you need to is Kulume and all those things. But when I go back home, I switch back to Venda because I'm Venda.
All day.
Cardoso, we go to CAF. He needs to adapt the play in CAF.
Yeah.
He needs to win the game. This thing of, Cardoso, the play, switch and switch. No, guys. Did you see what happens when you come back against Richards Bay? More than 600 passes, and the position, it was insane.
Yeah.
Now people say, no, Sundowns bad. No, Sundowns was never dead or something. Cardoso, he's a good coach. He knows what he wants. So he know how to adapt to the situation. Sometimes when you want to win something, you need to do by all means to win it. If you win the star, that star is not gonna come with saying that he was playing the ball like this. No. That's all we need. For now, Cardoso, like, it didn't start with the preseason, so he's still in a learning phase. And surely the next season, that's where we're gonna see how is Cardoso.
Must be so nice to be. It must be so nice to be in the learning phase, then score over 50 goals in the learning phase, then get to a CAF Champions League final. In the learning phase, then you're almost done with the league. Guys, what's this learning phase?
No, it's not like it's a learning phase. He came to a running train, so Liana he just gave her inside, and then the train was moving. So there was nothing much to do at Sundown. It's not like it's cooking from scratch, you know. So it's already, the pots were hot and everything. Liana was just dishing, you know, how you dish and all those things. But about the game,
no, Mara, the pots had always been giving you papa. He's dishing up and he's giving you more sushi, you know, more wagyu. Oko finally, ngalimubathi still. Guys, yeah.
Don't say Aruma. Nah, I do want Cardoso. Nah, I was never against Cardoso. When Cardoso came, I was behind him. I was supporting him all the way.
Yeah.
I never said we don't want Cardoso. Cardoso Gamorata, and yes, he's gonna do great. Come next season, we're still gonna continue the way we were. It's just that, how can I put it? Like Sundown, it's like, you know, those A students who normally get 100. When they get 94, they cry. But they still get an A. But still, they go back crying or, no, Daddy, Mama, I got 94. I only... Like, guys, come on, guys. Like,
but can I ask you this last minute here? I want to ask you about your team. Yeah. Right now, you're sitting with Reyners, who's on 20 goal involvements in the league. You're sitting with Ribeiro's on 20 goal involvements. Sales has got Boma 10 over 10. Matthews has got over 10. Yes. How is Sundowns this good? Because, you know, you can say that this team is expensive or whatever, but Reyners has improved from last year. Ribeiro has improved from last year. What is it that Sundowns does so well?
Like at Sundown, like if you need to know that there at Sundown, like we buy quality and we have quality. So there you need to fight for your place, and for you to fight for your place, you need to give it all. Like if they give you a chance to come and play now, you need to show that yes, I can do it. I'm there. You need to raise your hand. It's not like you're just gonna be there and then relax and say, nah, this is my position. Why? No, you need to give it your best. So that's how you, like a good competition, like a healthy competition. So it gives you that edge. You know, man, I need to do better. Like now I get a chance. Like Sundown have a big squad, and you know how we are. You can come next season, we might offload 10 and then bring another 10 or 12. And good quality players. So you need to give it all and show Cardoso. No, Cardoso, I'm here. You can give me the chance. I'll give you a result. That's all you need to do. But
for time I want to jump in so I can bring in Amina. Hey, must be nice. Oh, nice life problems. Pili soft life, like Sundowns. Amina, welcome to the show. How are you?
So, how are you?
Yeah, no, guys, I told you, don't ask me how I am, please. In the next hour, but it's okay. Amina, Sundowns 2-0, Cape Town City. How did you feel about the game?
You know, I won't lie, I didn't watch the game, but because I want to use my opportunity, I've watched Sundowns games over the season, so I know even the lineup. You know, I saw the lineup. But the question is, how do you feel about Sundowns as a team this season?
Yeah.
So for me, I will say the sporting director, Flamingbe, he fired Rulani. Remember, Rulani was there. So he fired Rulani. He brought in this guy, Cardoso. What he did then, he brings in players like these, players from overseas that you see. And now, it's not the Sundowns that we know. It's not the same Sundowns. So I believe this season, the PSL teams, they're supposed to smell blood.
Yeah.
When you play against Sundowns, you mustn't fear them. You must go at them. Because this Sundowns is not the same. And we've been saying this throughout the season that the other teams, they need to try and beat Sundowns. Because what I'm noticing is that when the smaller teams, they play against Pirates and Chiefs, they put all their effort. It's like they're marketing themselves. But when they are playing Sundowns, they become an average team. You look at the Cape Town City when they're playing Pirates and Chiefs this season. They were performing and they won those games. And they were performing at the highest level. But when they play against Sundowns, you look at chance creation, you look at the work rate, it's non-existent. So for me personally, I think Pirates, the problem with Pirates and Chiefs is that the PSL teams, when they play against them, they put more effort. But when they're playing Sundowns, the effort is not there.
But could you make the argument that Sundowns, yes, but Sundowns, ifana namapoisa, from the outside it looks like they're not doing their work until you have to play them, because this is the same Sundowns team that has only conceded 13 goals, that scored 54. Is it maybe that they're just that hard to play against?
You know, I don't think the Sundowns team this season is unbeatable. There are holes there. And there are weaknesses that you can exploit. You know, if you look at the team, it's been changing, chopping, changing. This guy coming back, I mean, Cardoso, typical North African coach who likes to play with two strikers. He wants the ball to go wide and crosses. You know, so that's why the Umkulisi is not playing. They've let go of Sipho Mbule. Mahema is not playing. Zwane Mshishi was injured. So this Sundowns team this season was beaten. And you look at the game, Golden Arrows, that they played. You know, they managed to get a draw. You know, Polokwane City managed to be Sundowns. So for me personally, I think going forward, the teams in the PSL, the other teams, they need to up their game. You know, when they play Sundowns, you can't play Sundowns. You are playing with 7 defenders. You know, you are defending even if the game isn't even started, but you're defending. You are playing with 7 defenders, and then they score. And then you try to attack and it's too late, and then they score again, the game is over. So this season, for me personally, I feel like it was a missed opportunity. The other teams, they feared Sundowns. There was no reason for them to fear Sundowns because Sundowns, they've changed the way they play. They play with long balls. Even Kaizer Chiefs in the knockout game, they beat Sundowns. So why are the teams in the PSL not upping their game? Why are the teams only upping their game when they are playing against Pirates and Chiefs? Because if you look at the Sekhukhune, when they play Sundowns, the level is not there. Look at what you call it, Marumo Galant. When they play Chiefs, they are performing at the highest level. But when they play Sundowns, the quality is not there. You look at Cape Town City, when they play Pirates at Cape Town, they were running all over. You know, they were putting effort in the dressing room. They were celebrating. But when they play Sundowns, it's not there. So it shows that maybe the idea when you play Sundowns must change. You must attack them. You must analyze the game and you must exploit their weaknesses because these Sundowns, if you look at the Pirates game at FNB, how Pirates beat Sundowns, you play them, you attack them, and you score goals. That's how you beat Sundowns. But these teams, they sit back, they allow pressure to come, they don't play football, you know.
Okay.
So for me personally, that's why Sundowns is getting points and is winning away games so easily because these teams, before they even play the game, they are already defending. The coach is saying every man behind the ball, and you are defending against Renas, against this tall guy from is it a Brazilian or you? So for me personally, I believe that this season it should have been a thing, a 3-horse race or something. But unfortunately, it didn't happen like that.
For time about a champion, guys, I just saw Sahile's goal again. It's playing on the TV in the background. Ha ha ha! Where was this guy for us? Anyway, let me go to Karim. Karim, welcome to the show. How are you?
OT, I won't ask you how you are.
Thank you. Please spare me.
Just say, fix the country on Saturday, please. This season, everyone must get a piece of the pie. We don't want any noise from anyone. We must all be quiet end of the season.
Can you handle us after 10 seasons? If we win a trophy, you're going to celebrate Karakista. You don't know.
But anyway, OT, Mina, I wanna give Cardoso his flowers. OT, I don't think in PSL I've seen a goal difference of 40 plus. Maybe I might be mistaken, but I think I've never seen a goal difference of 40 plus. And it speaks to what you were asking. Why is the Sundowns so good? I think it's been gradual thing, gradual improvement over the years. if you look at the numbers we got from the time of Pitso and moving to Rulani, and now you see the numbers, they kept on going up.
Yeah.
I would think they kept on going up. Even the gap between us and number 2, it kept on going up. Because it just shows you that there's a huge gap between Sundowns and the rest. And it seems like no one is catching up. Pirates, I think they tried this season, but the numbers, they tell you that Sundowns has been gradually improving and improving and improving. Yeah, I just want to give Caruso his flowers. I've been scrutinizing him for the longest time, not criticizing him, scrutinizing him. I've been trying to understand his philosophy. And I've come to understand that this guy doesn't really have a philosophy, and I've accepted that. This guy, he goes to a team and he does what the team does. It's basically a thing of you don't go to Rome, you go to Rome and do what the Romans do.
Arne Slot. We just saw Arne Slot at Liverpool.
Exactly. At Esperance, he was playing the way Esperance play. At Sundowns, he came and didn't change anything. He's playing the way Sundowns plays. He doesn't change much. He's just an adaptable coach. He just adapts to what the team is doing and what the team requires. And that's the thing for me. We judge coaches based only on results, which for me is an injustice. We should look at it holistically. I'll give an example of Uzen Epau. At Paris was called the Plama. He goes to Raja and then he wins. He wins
the league.
The treble there.
The treble, yeah.
Yeah, Cardoso, same thing. He loses the final. Now he's in the final of Sundowns. So if you just judge a coach based on results only, don't look at holistically and his philosophy, you might lose something. Same thing with Rulani. He did well at Sundowns. We thought he would do the same at them, and then he got there. It wasn't to be. I'm just saying, yeah, we just need to look at coaches holistically based on results and the philosophy. But I just want to go to the game.
Yeah, okay, great. No, go ahead. For the last minute here, yep.
Going to the game, it seems like there's this trend of teams are playing 5-3-2 against Sundowns. I first saw it against Esperance, saw it against Chiefs, saw it against, what was it? All the games, up until the game yesterday, all the teams have been playing 5-3-2. I also saw it in the Champions League versus Barcelona and Inter Milan. It works because that triangle, that 5-3-2, it's like it forms a Christmas tree. It forces you to go wide. It forces you to go wide. That's why in most of the games, your Alaska game and other games against Esperance, you would see Abo Allende, Mokwena, Ribeiros forming triangles on the wide channels, not in the middle. We struggle to go through the middle, and it works. It works to some degree. Okay. It works to some degree, and it makes a team look like it made it to some point. It makes Sundowns look like we are playing percentage football, in a sense that we have the percentage, but we're not progressing with it. We're not progressing with the ball in the final third of the opponent. It makes you look that way. But what I like about Coach Cardoso and his adaptability, because he was using Suarez to progress the ball, to create the overloads, to break that 5 in the middle, to create the overload. Suarez would basically progress the
very
ball
quickly,
create the overload, and he would pass between the defensive lines, create that. But he sees that, okay, Suarez has mistakes, and he sees he has mistakes. He's not naive and stubborn and insists, like other coaches, to insist on his philosophy. He says, okay, let me change, let me look for a solution. He brings in Modiba, and say, Modiba, you're gonna go in there and create that overload, so we can go through the build-up possession phase until the final third. He brings Modiba to do that for him. So that's why I'm saying this guy, he adapts, he reads the game. He's not naive and stubborn like most coaches who insist we're gonna play this way. This is how we're gonna play, no matter what.
Yeah.
Cardoso, I'm giving him his flowers, whether he wins or he loses. CAF, for me, I'm happy with him.
For time over the champion, let me bring it to Sipo. Hi man, Karela, why nilwana likaruso abato man?
Good evening, OT.
So much anger, man, for Cardoso. Why?
What anger? This guy has been giving us what we want. He's delivering. So why must we be angry with the man that is delivering? He is he's doing the job what he was brought in here to do. So when we brought him here, we said we wanted CAF. We don't want CAF after 4 years. No, we want CAF now. So he came when we were like struggling a bit, but not we were not struggling at all. I don't believe that we were still struggling. We were slow, still gaining momentum. But yeah, he took over from Mangoba, who I think wanted to do his methods was positive, but unfortunately, some of the players or the team was not with him. So they were not in the same place. So I felt that he lost the dressing room at some point. So he could not get the best of the players. Coach Cardoso came in and then he brought the trust from the players with the coach and the technical team. So
Can I ask, Sipo, for the future, is this the future of Sundowns? That it's going to be a bunch of adaptable coaches that come in. They're going to come in, they're going to steer the ship for a couple of years. Another one will be brought in based off of the foundation that has been built at Sundowns. Is that maybe what's going to start happening?
Yeah, I think that we might see that, yes. But we will see next season because this season he came in, he had to work with the structure that was in place. So next season he might want to maybe just direct the ship according to the way that he wants to run the ship. So we might see more of his tactics next season. So they might work, they might also backfire, and when it backfires, the board, it will be up to the board to support him or not. So I wanted to talk about in terms of the dominance. Sundowns has not been dominance. People are talking about dominance. Yes, we are dominant in the league, but we are not dominant. Sundowns was not dominant as a club. We need to be winning trophies to show dominance. Everything. Then we are dominating South African football.
Okay.
So I would like us next year to start winning everything to show the dominance. My team right now it's peaking at the right time. So you can even see the class from the Richards Bay after the Egypt match with Ahly. You can see that the class is and the bar is way above the rest. Richards Bay never stood a chance. Cape Town City also wanted to come at us. They exposed themselves. We exposed them. So that is how we are dominating now. We are starting to show because the teams are starting to open up. There's no time to sit back because they also playing to gain points as well.
Yeah.
So I see Sundowns winning the remainder of the matches because of the club's needs points.
But then can I ask, for this last minute, I'm going to give you a minute. What is dominance, guys? Because for me, I'm watching Sundowns come out versus Cape Town City. They don't even need to get out of gear 2. And you guys, that game that Sundowns played was the most relaxed game 2-0 I've ever seen. I even said in my review that, do you know how hard it is for other teams to win 2-0? It doesn't feel like there's pressure. Isn't that also a show of dominance?
That is confidence, and that is also like arrogance in a way that we are showing confidence. We are showing arrogance that we are better than you. We are better than team in South Africa right now. So we make simple things like the team is fighting. You can see we are winning balls much quickly. We are when we have to defend, we defend immediately to win the position quickly, and when we use the ball effectively, so we can pass the balls And then if we have to go direct, we go immediately. So, Cardoso brought in so different variation in our way of playing style. And we can't say we have lost Shoeshine and piano. We are already using Shoeshine and piano in the existing. Yeah.
For time, I'm going to jump in. Before I let in the next panel, guys, this is all I want to ask you guys. What is dominance? Because for me, I saw what I can only name a Grootman performance. They didn't sweat. They didn't run hard. They didn't have to go. They basically just had to stay in year 2, and they went and won that game. I mean, like I said, at the end of the game, Cape Town City had 1 shot on target, 4 chances. They had created no big chances. Isn't that part of a dominance in a way that, no, guys, I know that you guys want to play against me, Marashem. You just don't have the facilities, fam. Let me go to Conti. Conti, welcome to the show. How are you?
Gishapuman OTI. Let me not ask you how are you, but for being a football lover, I think you are good.
I gotta get busy to defend the Luna Mona. Guys. Understand.
I think I was one of the guys that defended Cardoso at the beginning when he came, and they were calling him a plumber. And he's done an incredible job at Mamelodi Sundowns. He's never really changed much. And I was impressed in the last 2 games where you see Aubrey Modiba inverting like he used to invert in the midfield and giving that extra man in the midfield. And that helps Sundowns to sort of hold into possession. And what Cardoso has done mainly at Mamelodi Sundowns, we used to concede a lot of set pieces. But before they when they warm up, you will see Mamelodi Sundowns does a lot of warm up in terms of set pieces, crosses on the right, on the left, corners, and all of that. So he has brought a lot of small detail in the game and the mentality of players, the belief, and I think the way also the boys played the CAF semi-finals. I think that the most difficult games to play is the semi-final in the trophy in a cup. So the way the boys have come out and played that semi-final, they believed and they went throughout to get a goal, whether it's a lucky goal or not, but they believed, and that's what Coach Cardoso had brought at Mamelodi Sundowns, the mentality and the fighting spirit. But overall, there's not much that has changed, because you look at yesterday's game or Saturday's game, they had close to 900 passes, 80% ball possession, combination play, you still see that, and a player like Arthur Sales, he confuses a lot of people. They don't know where he plays, but you see, he gives you, he comes in as an extra striker. He's not really a striker, drops in deep sometimes to collect the ball on the right, on the left. So he's really improved a lot of players, and that's what Coach Cardoso has done.
I want to go back to something you spoke about, set pieces, things like that. Why do you think South African teams don't take that seriously? Because I call it the boring side of the game, and it seems like Mamelodi Sundowns has mastered some of those. Like I was talking during the game that when there's a free kick, Reina stands by the post so that the goalkeeper has a tough time setting his wall. Little things like that. Why don't we see that in South African football in J? Isn't that supposed to be a basic?
I'm surprised because even Bafana, they practice those set pieces. The guy who's the analyst at Bafana is the one that worked for Sekhukhune.
Oh,
Sinasipo. Yes, that's why Sekhukhune scores a lot of set pieces. And surprisingly enough, Kaizer Chiefs is a team that used to score a lot of set pieces. So I don't know why. And they've got, even now, against Pirates, I saw Uli Lepo. They played him where he surprised Orlando Pirates at the center, even though they never had crosses. But I was expecting the boys to put in 2 or 3 crosses because he's very strong and good with the header. So I don't understand why us in South Africa you think it's boring. You check. I just wanna divert a little bit. You check Barcelona versus Inter Milan. Inter Milan scored 2 goals with set pieces. At the end of the day, the score is 3-3. You're not going to say they've scored with set pieces. So set pieces are part of the game, and we need to use that. And if a team it's got taller players, it's got stronger players, to use that, I think we need to use that. We shouldn't call it a boring game, because even Gavin Hunt at Supersport, he won the league with that type of a game. And in 2017, you look at Vert, how they won the league. But before you allow other people,
you've got a minute.
I want to give you flowers for always giving Mamelodi Sundowns the platform in your channel. We have all the media houses in South Africa that they don't give Mamelodi Sundowns the flowers, and I don't want to mention them, but you always do. I hope you don't get into trouble, and I hope you get a nice sponsor, but you always do give Sundowns its space. Sometimes you give it an hour. For the past 2 years, I've been listening to you. You're always consistent. You are not biased, even though you do say you are a Kaizer Chiefs fan. I want to thank you for being one of the most honest people in South African football, and I hope your channel can grow and become one of the biggest channels that we've ever seen.
No, thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much, my brother. Bathi ngiyavela kancane kancane mara. Thank you, Conti. Habibi.
Come home, Habibi. Come home, Habibi. Come home, Habibi.
They don't want me at home. They don't want me, man.
You don't have to suffer like this, Habibi. Come to the promised land, Habibi. It's like when Moses freed the slaves there in Egypt. This is what Cardoso is doing. He's freeing the slaves in Egypt to the promised land. The Atteridgeville. Yeah. Cardoso with the staff. Mr.
Yeah.
Oti. Mr. Oti. Mr. Oti, I don't think we're watching the same for Mr. Oti. Angeke, Mr. Oti. Angeke. No ways, Mr. Oti. We're not watching this. Ngicabanga ukuthi abanye babheka ibhola, abanye babheka iselimathunzi tukutuku, Mr. Oti. Angeke, Mr. Oti. Angeke. Mr. Oti. 24 games played.
Yeah.
54 goals. 13 goals conceded. A goal difference of 41. What are we talking about here, Mr. Oti? What are we talking about here, Mr. Oti? Angeke, Mr. Oti. Angeke, Mr. Oti. Second fewest chances faced, Mr. Oti. In the league, Mr. Oti. Over 24 games, Mr. Oti. Sundowns is not the same. Yeah, Sundowns is not the same, because it has improved, Mr. Oti. Sundowns is now in the final of a CAF Champions League, Mr. Oti. What are we talking about? We're about to win the league for the 8th time in a row, Mr. Oti. What are people talking about here, Mr. Oti? Lucas Ribeiro, 13 goals, Mr. Oti. Reynas, 11 goals, Mr. Oti. Peter Shaluli, 6 goals, Mr. Oti. Basafuna nabantu. I don't understand, Mr. Oti. I really don't understand, Mr. Oti. I am shocked. I am shocked at what I'm hearing today, Mr. Oti. What is going on here, Mr. Oti? Like, I don't know, maybe someone needs to slap me and put me vele in line so I can hear what's going on, Mr. Oti. I heard a video, I think they were Andile Ngcobo not Junior. I think Junior was saying something about Uguti, Sundowns is not the same, and then Andile was giving him the stats, and then Junior Khanye's response was, yeah, indaba yama statistics izosibula. Kantawa nama stats bafethu. What are numbers? Umuntu azokutshela ukuthi phela mina ibhola ngilibuka ngamehlo. Kushuthi amehlo akho abona amanga, Mr. Oti. Your eyes are lying to you. Your eyes have been deceiving. Kushuthi we cannot trust your eyes, because clearly your eyes are eyes of a liar, Mr. Oti. This is one of the greatest Mamelodi Sundowns teams we have ever seen in a very long time, Mr. Oti. In a very long time, Mr. Oti.
Do you think that it's a nostalgia problem, or do you think that it's a culture problem? That people are maybe thinking back on, last season with rose-colored glasses, but do you think that maybe that's the issue? Do you think that it's just a general culture issue, that we're not going to accept anything that doesn't look like?
Yeah, I think South Africa's stand is style kakhulu, Mr. Oti, more than end products. And
Yeah, and let's see where that gets us. Style over the end product. Let's see how teams who like style over end product get them. See now, Mr. Wood says, Mamelodi Sundowns, we do what needs to be done. We do what needs to be done. It doesn't matter if it looks ugly for you, but in the balegile end product, Mr. Otsi, and you can see the fruits are bearing now, Mr. Otsi. Like I said, we're going to a final. We're winning the league for the 8th time in a row. 2 of the top goal scorers in the league come from one team, Mr. Otsi. We are firing, Mr. Otsi. We are cooking teams. We like game Cape Town, Mr. Otsi. Azang is puma second gear, Mr. Otsi. It's for some digital nomad like Cape Town, Mr. Otsi. Bayarelegate wacabanga indawo yama-digital nomad inganateam ku-PSL. Mr. Otsi, this is one of the, if we're just looking at stats, Mr. Otsi, forget our feelings. If we're looking at stats, is this not one of the best Sundowns teams you've ever seen?
Look, I think it's incredible. I think, you know how I feel about Sundowns.
Yeah, I think into the fantasy and what Mr. Otsi says, Mamelodi Sundowns fans, is to take control of our narrative, because Sundowns doesn't.
You need to name it, man. Last season you were talking about chameleon football, crocodile football, Shushain and piano. Nigezanu karosika manaye, man.
We need to brand, that's it. Moses football, Mr. Otsi. Bring the slaves from Egypt.
I know. Hey, then commandment say, hey, let me go to Koke. Koke, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hola Otsi, ngimnandi butama. Asikisi ngento ezenzakalayo ke ngoba ngeke sikubingelela sibuza impilo kunzima siyazi ukuthi ngiqina ngizoqina bekezela.
Okay. No, Cape Town City, yadliwa Sundowns 2-0. Sundowns looks like the league is done. It's been done. How do you feel about that game, man?
Yeah, no, that game le ibonisile Mr. Otsi ukuthi there's a certain mojo Sundowns kuyo manje. There's a mood with Sundowns, a celebration mood kind of ekhona with Sundowns. That confidence man abadlala ngayo, you know. I mentioned it on the other day against the Richards Bay, and I saw it against the Cape Town City. In the ground, you know, you can feel man, you know, they are confident in themselves. They know which has in Bafit got the 7s aganzima, and then it's that time of the year, which manje of the season, which isn't those to zizi it is and lento mesifuna. I think that win against Ahly with bangeni we final. I think baposteka cool confidence. I think the way we Sundowns never suffered in confidence, but that qualification we final has added a little bit of something to Mamelodi Sundowns in terms of a mentality. Now the way when bonanga corner as a team and I'm an individual within the team. So and that thing is positive. It's very, very positive because everyone magangena. I saw even Nomkulis against the Richards Bay ungene ngalento leya ukuthi nami I won my place, uyabona. And then besingene kule game le Cape Town City. Kule game Cape Town City into engibonile mina total dominance man. Sundowns, they were there to say, "Ay guys, thina sizelana sothatha 3 points, siyaphuma siyahamba bafethu." Asanga ngento eningi. Size ngaloko and amajita ayibonakalisile lonto. And I'm glad ukuthi although the confidence is high, but they don't undermine the opponent and they don't undermine the mission. We still have to play. We still have to win. You know, as much as they are dominance, but they are not lounging. Your opponent might attack is a woo, but they're not like obvious as you winner. Because lento le yenzakala Mr. Otsi sibone epolini ukuthi ithi my dominant uzobona ba relax uthola maybe 1 goal or 2 goals and then they lose focus again. But Sundowns
ngangitsheli ngale match yami
maintain sorry to maintain the focus throughout ukuthi even though there are those 2 goals, but you could see even nama player angena, you saw ama substitute abomshishi, you saw abo Adams, when they come in nabo Motaung, they still give you something. You feel like if they can be given 20 more minutes, you feel sorry for Cape Town City because they will demolish it. Even though they already know the game is in our hands, there's nothing Cape Town City can do. But that mentality, I think it's something as South Africans we need to adapt to it. When we get to certain situations, we need to have that killer instinct and make sure the opponent doesn't even have a room to even complain and say, maybe I could have done something. Now there's nothing you could have done, no matter what. So, and then coming to Coach Cardoso. I think Coach Cardoso ufike kunzima ku Sundowns. I think ukuthi Coach Cardoso was one of those coaches that were unfortunate in the recent times with Sundowns. I think Coach Cardoso almost ufane no Coach Pitso. You know, when Coach Pitso came to Sundowns was not in a good space. So Coach Cardoso, Sundowns, it was in a good space, but our supporters were a little bit hot and cold, because they didn't know what to expect from him, because basakhalelu would be winner, and then you find Sundowns was almost eliminated with CAF Champions League, because Coach Cardoso uvusi Sundowns was almost eliminated group stages.
Yeah,
I figure lapha win ngama 1-1.
But he come back, Maniema.
Out of nowhere, that took Sundowns to the promised land. You know, imagine from that, I could see the stress on the man's face. As I figure, like I would every press conference, you could see with tension as I would. Can you do the job for us? And so he managed to stay the ship. And you remember, before December, Sundowns was lacking in terms of points. Make it move away with Pirates. The Pirates did the last 7 home games. You were winner wonky, you know. And Sundowns had to do something about it, but they managed to by the Pirates. And since then, they never looked back. Oh, number one, since they've been number one. Yeah, but so it's been like that, and it came to a point where I think even the period Yokshama team number 4, that month Yokshama team number 4 also eased things for him. Okay, man, coach settled, and everyone ulapaya emojo right. So I think the 2 games le abayiting I would winning league bazoyenza show with by winning league ngale 2 games abasele ngayo, and then the rest will be history, man. I think ukuthi Jama Sundowns supporters, they must stay behind and rally behind their team by support. I think they should be grateful. I mean, Sundowns will spaces so I was in another panel whereby I said, would you rather stress about having a lot of resources or stress about having limited resources? And then you see Amanyama team struggle because they have limited resources, and you look at Sundowns who have a lot of resources, and you
well managed resources.
Yeah, and when you finish team yakho ibe kuphi, uyangithola ufuna team yakho ibe nama player 25, and then when those 25 players are not working out, kunama injury in between, you complain that you're not winning anything. So that's something you have to look at one day. But I know I'm out of topic.
For time, I'm gonna jump in. Let me bring in Maipi, welcome to the show. How are you? Let me see, Maipi. Guys, in the meantime, follow if you have not followed. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. That is when the show is on, 7 p.m. And if Chiefs, Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, Bafana are in action, we will be here. Please do me the favor of following and also subscribing there on YouTube. Interesting conversation I had with Jordaan Milford there, an interview I did. Let me go to Prachom in the meantime. Prachom.
Hi, brother. How are you?
Please don't ask me how I am, man. Hey, man, but it's fine. Sometimes we need to need.
My brother, you'll never worry about football in that way.
Yeah.
In the Sundowns matter, I can always try to sound like their previous coach to say congratulations to Sundowns, congratulations to players. Congratulations to the fans, congratulations to the coaches and technical staff. Yeah, but OT, you know, I realized I don't even have your number. I wanted to call you during the day. It's bad.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, football has turned out to be a business that it's being run like a wrestling, trust me. And it's going to be confirmed this coming Saturday. Should Chiefs win that final, it's confirmed. I'll never put my feelings on football. Crying.
Ow.
No, let me tell you. What I saw Saturday, it killed me in my mind. I couldn't even watch other games. You understand?
Yeah.
That game was a giveaway. Players, coaches, everyone knew what's supposed to have happened to that game. You understand? The starting 11, it was wrong. Pirates was not even worried about.
Oh, Remo, Prachomo.
Yeah?
Reko Sundowns.
Choma cannot face Sundowns.
Oh, iteng na koya ya Chiefs diatla.
Matsanjwetsa he kana kwa Chiefs.
Okay. Okay, let me do this. I'm going to bring in someone just to jump in quickly. I see I got a request there in the comments. But we must come back, Prachom. We must come back. It's like Kenya Chiefs. I see Mindfee fell off. Gustavo, I'm going to plug you in quickly. Tell me, welcome. How are you?
Good evening. Hey, good old thing. Good.
Thank you. Please, we've got rules today.
Good.
Gustavo, tell me about this Cape Town City game, man.
Like everyone has been saying, absolute dominance. What you are saying is there was no need for us to even go into second gear. You know, even though Cape Town City looked like they're coming at us, but we were like, we'll manage this. It's needed pressure. You need such pressure in a game, you know, just to switch on, you know, as players, and to sort of execute the game plan and sort of also identify your mistakes. Because if someone doesn't come at you, you won't identify your mistakes, and that doesn't prepare you well for the next game, you know. So Cape Town City came to us and they tried to play, but unfortunately, you know, the dominance from Sundowns was the dominance from Sundowns, you know. And credit to coach, man. Credit to coach. You look at the Richards Bay game, you look at the approach for that game, then you look at the approach for the Cape Town City game. It tells you the difference. That the two games are two different games, and the two teams are two different teams, and the approach that's needed, you know, to play those two games. It's very, very important. You know, you have to know the team you are playing. You have to know the type of players that you need to play those, to play that team. Can we give the coach credit for bringing back that Lucas Ribeiro, Reynas and Matthews combination? You know,
RMR.
We needed it back. You know, and he tried to bring it back as early as possible, but Utashrik couldn't get up to speed. You know, but we know Utashrik whenever he gets up to speed. You know, very, very versatile player, both-footed. Can play that position yabo Ribeiro-ish, that position yabo Rile-ish, you know, whereby is the winger can come into the 10 position and create. You know, with him is more deadly because he can score. Now he's a creative player and the player that can score. You know, but I don't. There's this thing.
Can I ask you something, Gustavo? I want to ask you. There's also something interesting that happened at Mamelodi Sundowns. You know, there was a point where Reynas was out completely. Came in with Mangoba was playing him. Then when Caruso came in, he started falling out. You look at some of the other players that maybe hadn't taken the next step in what they needed to do. Now they're taking steps. What does Sundowns do to help players develop and get better? I mean, that pass that Reynas played in the box for the goal, I think it was the first goal. I've never seen Reynas do that. What is Sundowns doing that's different to other PSL teams? Because what's the...
It's like, you know, when they say, hey, Reynas is not there, he's not scoring. I'm like, hey, Reynas is busy assisting. While you are busy focusing on goals, he's busy assisting. That's the Reynas under Ukados. Reynas has managed to hit the highest number of assists, I think, in his career. In a league season. He's our top assister at the moment, Mamelodi Sundowns. Not your Ribeiro, not your Matthews, he's the one assisting more. You know, that's the animal that has been created by Ukados through Reynas. You know, it shows you a different Reynas. It's showing you that Reynas that they claim cannot play football, that Reynas who's just a goal only. It's not there. There's more to the player than just the goal scoring. You look at all the games, especially the crucial games. Even if you go to CAF Champions League, you go to the games that we played against Kaizer Chiefs. Who assisted those goals? That loss that we had against the Pirates, who assisted those goals? It's Reynas. That pass alone, like in the previous game, you know, I was like, hey, and then how does Reynas pick this pass accurately? So, you know, but how does Mamelodi Sundowns improve players? The players around you. They make you better. You know, you learn from the players around you. You know, understanding the players that you are playing with, it unlocks some of your abilities, in a sense. Like Reynas, that pass is playing. He understands that Matthews wants the ball in that certain position. You know, we've been seeing it throughout the season, especially earlier on by Ribeiro was playing those kind of passes to the Reynas, to your Matthews. And Matthews would play those passes. We saw the same pass also with Sales for the second goal. It's a similar pass, you know, even though it's a different position, but it's a similar pass to say, okay, we enjoy this type of passes whereby we're gonna run into them, you know, pass into the space and silly goal, silly net, you know. But yeah, I mean, credit to the team, and this is the most dangerous Sundowns currently. Last season we were at 41 goal difference. This season we're at 41 goal difference at the current stage.
Yeah.
And this is not even over, you know.
Okay.
At this point, we've created the most chances, but we've took less shots than some of the teams. Like there's a lot in terms of us not being one of the best in terms of the attacking numbers, but in terms of the conversion rate, it's absolutely crazy.
For time, I'm gonna jump in. Thank you, Gustavo. Guys, we are going to head now into the second half of the show, where we're going to be speaking about Orlando Pirates versus Kaizer Chiefs. So please, if you are requesting now, you are requesting for Kaizer Chiefs versus Orlando Pirates. Remember, 5 minutes. Everybody will get 5 minutes. Please try make it 2 minutes. 2 or 3 minutes so I can ask you some questions there and we can respect each other there. But Kaizer Chiefs versus Orlando Pirates was... Oh no, before I do that, Sundowns, what a scary team. What a scary team. I always say, and I've always said, Orlando Pirates is the most dangerous team for me because on their day, Orlando Pirates can hit 6 or 7 or 8. But the scariest team for me in terms of if there's a team in the league that I'm scared of, it's Sundowns. Because Sundowns just keeps plugging away, plugging and plugging and plugging and plugging and plugging and plugging. By the time you wake up, they've scored 50-something goals. By the time you wake up, iliki hambile. And I think that is the scary part of Sundowns in the league. Because if you watched that game versus Cape Town City, if you really watched that game, you looked at it and you went, Yazi, it shouldn't have been that easy. I think halfway through the first half, I said that, guys, like, why does it feel like Sundowns is walking this game? And remember, this is the Cape Town City that's facing relegation. This is the Cape Town City that's doing the worst it's ever done. It's the Cape Town City that's meant to be fighting for their lives. And then it just went, no, the Sundowns just went, guys, you know what? I'm not doing too much. The aim is not to sweat. And they didn't sweat. And they won 2-0. The fact that you can bring in Themba Zwane and Adams just off the bench and share. Think about your bench. I'm thinking about my bench right now in my head. Think about your bench when you can bring in Khoza, you can bring in Adams and Zwane from the bench. You're watching them on the pitch and they've actually gotten better. Reynolds has improved. I put out an episode of my podcast today. So it's on YouTube, Overthinking Football Show. Part of where I speak about this development of senior players. About Reynolds Bachinja. Look at his peers. About Dupreez. That is insane what is happening there. That is insane what Sundowns has done league-wise, what Sundowns is doing Champions League-wise. And lastly, before I move into this topic now, all I want to say is, guys, nimfuna nukaroso. No preseason. Came in after after Makesi winning culling knockouts. Came in after MTN8 issues. Comes inside and he comes in and he goes and does what he's done. Further, takes you further than you've been in the Champions League, for example. To the final. When last did Sundowns see a final? There's so many, guys. There's so many of these things. But in any case, guys, we're going to move on to Kaizer Chiefs. And the first thing that I'm going to do is...
Hayibo baba. Namanje. Usacasulwe lento okudliwa kweKaizer. Hayi ngeke baba. Kuzomela uye kuyisupport iKaizer.
Angizwanga?
Cha phela ngithi baba kuzomela uye kuyisupport iKaizer. Bengabe zokucasula kanjena.
We're back, guys. The sounds are back. But let me bring in Prachomo.
My brother.
Hey, no, okay. So good. This is now for Tabaya Derby. Please tell me what you thought about the Derby game.
Yeah, no fiction. Narrative fiction.
Yeah.
Our football has grown to be a WWE wrestling match. The whole thing was a joke. You understand? Orlando Pirates knew what was supposed to happen in that game. Kaizer Chiefs knew what was supposed to happen. The demeanor from the coach tells you. You understand? They were not worried. You understand me? The starting 11 that was played there, it's a joke. Pirates, how we managed to put 6 young players against Chiefs. You understand? They knew. It was a script. You understand me? And if I'm wrong, they can only prove it to me. If that was a real game, no one's supposed to be telling me that it's going to be a different game. Kadi 10, it's a cup game. Chiefs, therefore, is going to play differently. There's no way. Chiefs should win that trophy. I'm out of football.
So Pratomo, I want to ask you about Chiefs. During the week, we said that we're resting players for the game. When we got to the game, both they were on the bench. Right, there was a lot that was happening. There was a lot that was happening. What do you think is the thinking? And do you think that fans play into this? Because as it currently stands in the league, I believe we're number 10. Is it number 10? I believe that if Makesi wins their game in hand, they jump us. If Chipa wins their game, they go further away. Are we missing something here in terms of actually wanting to go win these games? What's happening? And do we play a role as fans?
Let me tell you what is happening, my brother. The sponsorship for the PSL is Betway. You understand? Yeah, there's a big choir master here. You understand? Pirates, the team that they were playing is Cocoon, it's their sister club. They could have donated the 3 points to Pirates easily. You understand? But we're having Betway here. You understand? They had to lose the game. It's balancing off the forces. I'm telling you, the remaining games on the league, you must see the miracle. Chiefs is going to win all those games easily. Do you understand me? Just to be safe, because of if you can check, the body language tells a lot. Chiefs has been losing most of the games because of the referees. And Chiefs is quiet about it. And knowing Chiefs, should Chiefs start to talk about these things, you'll see bigger change. They've got a serious voice. Should they start to say, we are losing games because of these referees, we understand, you'll see a change. They lost a game 2-1 on the offside that it could have. I mean, Chiefs used to win with referees for some people to say. That could have been easily protected in that game. You understand? Yeah, I'm telling you, my brother, football is over. We are watching fiction.
But I want to ask you, I want to, firstly, allegedly, the thoughts that are spoken about by Prachovo's thoughts are not those of overthinking football. Can Kenya traveling? Prachovo, I want to ask you about the fans, because if the script is true, what about the fans? Because I also don't see anybody getting angry. I don't see anybody, Chiefs is where it is. Nobody's saying anything. We've seen the performances. Why are fans quiet?
I'll tell you why. This thing is well orchestrated, my brother. They're blowing hot and cold. You know, when they're about to erupt and then they win, you understand? When they start, they go to a game where you think today they're going to throw something, you understand? And then they win against Sundowns, you understand? And then everyone goes back to the notion of Nabi is cooking. You understand? It always boils hot and cold. You understand? The time you think the fans are about to see what is happening, and then they start to be on their winning streak again. I'm telling you, my brother, here it's a money-making scheme. These people are making money. They forgot about football. They've sat down, they scripted the whole thing. They say, guys, here's an opportunity to make money. You understand? Let's stop putting feelings on this. We must use our heads and make money. You understand? Okay. I mean, OT, you saw the game. Now I was at the stadium. I couldn't believe that starting lineup. With that bench, I was like, who wants to win against Pirates here? You understand? I mean, that game. You check a goal number 2. That goal number 2 by a person. I mean, cross winner, take it lap. Upasa who was not even interested in that game. You understand? The next thing Pirates say Pasana match. Yes, by Pasana, no one is disturbing them. Uyangunderstand? Nalelo fika kumfukeng sekalikhile selwele phakathi kwebox abokwinika lapha ubona kwenzakalana abaSolomons they are nowhere, then it's a goal. I know what I saw mina lapha.
Mara, for time, I want to jump in for time. Guys in the comments, how do you feel about Uprachobo and what he said in his theory here? Let me go to Mtagababa. Hey, Veli.
Mtagababa kunjani?
Mina angikho right bit.
Awukhuluma awungintroduce ngisho ukhani iqala phela hayi lama curtain raiser. Let's start. Welcome to Overthinking Football. On Monday at 7. The show just started now. You've just arrived.
Nishayile. Uthini ke manishayile.
Hey, kubi bafu. Ushuthi la celebration leyana it was a fiction. La celebration kaMakhubu uyibonile ya ku King Kong. Yeah, be stage nayo. Bayirezi.
Mina ngibuza nina, how do you feel about it?
Ibhola malistaka lapha enyaweni zikahodo laba lezilikhahle lorile bekustage nawo kuneziwe ematimu ezweni eSouth Africa kunzima mhlaka kodwa sawuthini ngoba ngithi sinembono yethu ayifani phela uzwile ke mntaka bathini ke ngixoxela ukuthi
ukhiphe ufuna ukukhipha
niyeke lento enenza egoli sinilindile ngapha eThekwini nize kanje naye kahle angithi uyazi ngapha eThekwini okungapha kwaZulu makuthiwa sifuna ukuxoxa nawe kusuke kuthiwa nasibonisane nje khona lapho ngathi ngoba angithi nokompela saxoxisana naye angithi uhambo lakhe laphelela khona ngalo kukompela
sibuya ngala wazi sibuya ngale bese landa something sibuyela khona futhi
ngisho khona ngithi sokuthi ukuxoxisana nonabo uma siyabona into lena ngicela ukudaka lapho anikwazi makhosi amahle hawu ngeke umlungu adlale ngani imqashele yonke into nazi namqashela nje noTolika athi assistant coach wakade umngane wakhe nje wakubo le umzwila alwa nama-journalist futhi wastage le game kwi-stage indoda ile nomazolo lapha yana ku-press lapho bekunzima lapho anikasemba futhi
okay bara ngifuna ukubuza ke as somebody who's not a Chiefs fan Unabi, how is he allowed to do everything that he's doing? Ngoba ama-tactics are questionable, ama-sapa questionable, ama-yellow card akakhiphi, yazi usiku number 10. Why? I don't understand.
Kusadlaliwe ngiyabona i-Chiefs ikule ikakamaphosa yabo ikakamaphosa hayi le kamsholo ayina strike ayina pay back the money ayina lutho nje uyayifayela hayi bakhuza aselungile
Namba ngithuka nami ngiyathukiwa ama-commentsini wami base ngithi awu
abangeke bafuthi kahle ukudlala ngathi angahleli phela unabo uyayivalela nabo nayegcengeneza nabo Solinas abonseki anikahleni bafethu ngabe umuntu uze ne-technical team yakhe yonke iphelele uthengela abadlali besazoba kule kodwa kuthulile nje ezweni nje kuthulile akuna toyi nyana akunalutho akuyena shukena abo-London bafuna ukukhahlela ama-fans ama-camera ama-fans wethu kunzima nje ezweni kodwa kuthulile nje ngakuyi hayi kumele sothi ukuxoxa nangomgqibelo akehle ngapha eThekwini ngeke nkosi yami cha ngeke anikahle makhulu no angeke asikazi ukubona
manje vele ngitshele last minute la ngitshele ngocoach wenu man ashayi tactical change afaka uDlamini igame yachicha man
that was a master stroke ne that was a master stroke because iphela i-first half iphele noma besi-equalizile but iphele siminyile mntaka because labantu baqale kabi bangene beze ngendlovu iyangena nje yabona senza nephutha bathola igoli but that was a master stroke vele because it was supposed to happen. I've always seen ukuthi uRila uyastruggleisha kancane makadlala lapha ku-10 he's always dangerous mangabe uzodlala on a left wing, so I think that change yona ngoba nje it just made miracle, it just changed the complexion of that game. And also sibuye simncoma ucoach wami ukuthi hey unesibindi man sokuthi ayintroduce labafana abancane
aboselepe
udabi yeah udabi That's genius, man. Even though it's said and we don't know Ozayobani.
Yeah.
And then we'll continue with what he's doing with our development product as us party on Saturday the tactics were spot on party. Nagandu Makosa angeke nyala. Ugavin abantu namxosha menioxolisa nangeke namxosha angasana nje player afike ku-CAF final kahleni makhosi hayi mesayibona yabona makuthiwa khona i-friction le beyikhuluma uBreje istajiwe yile yenzakala ku-Kaizer. That's a friction ke le ayibona le
Time. Let me bring in agent.
Shalom, my brother.
Hey, it's not shalom. But agent, I'm tired. But anyway, let me not say anything.
Peace be upon you.
Guy, let me not say anything.
I hear Prajomo, I hear you are saying my 2 million under the table. We know them. We know.
Guys, don't get me. Guys, I want to come back tomorrow. Aye. You guys are speaking to some different people.
Let's say 4 million. Let's say 4 million. If 2 million is bothering you, more 4 million is sharp. Yeah, I think it's an interesting theory that maybe, but thanks to Skukune, maybe they've cancelled their plans. Yeah, but hey, so it was any meanders going around as Mode say, Skukune cancelled the meanders. So every man for himself on Saturday. But back to reality.
Yo, guys.
I don't know. Maybe his Coach Nabi was playing 3D chess.
Okay.
Do this as a rehearsal. Confuse the enemy. Because the thinking that I think I said this on Friday that as Chiefs, Nabi, you have only one chance to strike.
Yeah.
Are you gonna show Jose where you're gonna strike and he can counteract that in the final? Or you would rather by Caesar him, with the strategy that okay, looks like she's gonna approach this, and then in the final you approach it differently. So I think it was one of those where could be that he was confusing the enemy with the way they're standing up because that midfield was too open. I think with Kucha let me off it. I saw the lineup, but it didn't register. But when I was talking with Kucha before the game, it's like, can you see this midfield? And I started to see like, this midfield is very open. It's likely that Chiefs didn't get destroyed, But here's the thing: you came with a surprise element. You scored the goal. What are you doing now to maintain that lead? That's where Onaibi is lacking. And I think what we saw on Saturday, Chiefs played like that earlier in the season.
Yes.
But the quickest to get a goal.
Yeah.
And then the managing thereof.
Tibang.
You get, So it's one of those things, that man management that you're talking about, where like, this way Nabi is lacking, Besides the quality of players, besides the what, but man management can be killing you from September until now. That's something that needs to be improved on, And then on the other hand, you see a experienced coach, a good like kind of tactician, like a master planner.
Oh, master planner.
You see the master planner that he sees that okay, 1-1, the strategy that I came in with is not working. He makes a change, a tactical sub. And the game changes from the tactical sub. So that's what we want, And it will also be interesting that what's going to happen on the weekend. Is Tito going to come in? Is he going to start with Lamini? That also is interesting for me. So it was an interesting game. I think Chiefs got it, the tactics on it, they got it right, but they couldn't see the plan to the end. It was a short-term fix. But they couldn't see the plan to the end.
So I want to ask in this last minute, agent, how is Nebi surviving? because there's not even a noise, there's not even a peep of anything, there's no expectations, there's no Yazi, it's just quiet about Nebi.
There's a bit of an echo. Okay. So, Sugar Spice, do you mind meeting?
I think Sugar Spice has network problems. Hey, Sugar Spice, Tanasekai.
Sorry about that. Yeah. I think my train of thought has left me. But yeah, I think it's one of those things that Abutukusa would say. He would tell you they have been beaten into submission. I think Chiefs has been beaten into submission. That guys, there is nothing else you can do. You have to stick out with this thing, you know. You have to see it to the end. I think Chiefs have lost that. They've lost that thing, you know. They've lost the spark. They've lost the fight. You know, when you're fighting, when you've been in the battleground for long, you lose that thing also, you know. So yeah, man. And also maybe is the PR that he came with. Maybe that's one that's sustaining him. You know, it could be that. I think.
But past the point. Okay, no, for time. Let me go to Utio. Utio, Mganwa.
Hey, Nkosi yami, awu.
Awutoyitoyi, nungatoyitoyi.
Hey, angithi sinama temporary membership, so kumele sihloniphe abadala, kumele sihloniphe laba abafuna ukusijabulisa masibhorekile. So asinankinga asikhali. Yeah, congrats to the former Shushainen Piano. The current Shushainen Piano is talking now, even though it doesn't have results yet, but we are pointing in the right direction. Hey, OT, what a long weekend. Or even this morning. That's how terrible the feeling is. My network is a bit poor, which I don't know if you can hear me. If you can hear me, just let me know, because but I think what will help me is to rewatch the game in Sundowns. Sundowns. That will ease the pain. Now I can recommend that. I'll book the game in Sundowns. You'll feel a bit different than you feel now. I'm gonna try and watch it today, tomorrow. Then on Wednesday, I'm going to first half in Pirates, Nazi. Then I on Thursday, I'm sharp. There's no tactics to talk about. OT. There's no way you can have a coach like that comes highly recommended. As an staff sake, as an bamthengela ama-under lo muntu othi bampakele upakelwe lo muntu ukuthi hamba hey akafuna ukubuyela khayikho bayamfuna akafuna ukujika uthi angiyindawo ngihleli mina la othi you have a guy that gets a yellow card in 16 minutes. You have a Mashiane on the bench. How does he finish in 90 minutes to cross? Njani. Okay, I don't want to talk about ukuthi sidlale njani besiphasana ayonishisha nempiyano ngiyibonile kodwa bengana end product. Imagine 2 shots on target. The whole time 90 minutes kodwa siyaphasana. But one thing that I was happy about is I hope next game we'll see coach to does our corrections work and the homework kahle, and I'm praying just for one thing. We score 1 goal. Masqeda sikhahlela yonke into esegroundini. Sikhahlela referee, sikhahlela Ribeiro vele kumele hambe ngesicathulo sikhahlela konke. Othi masqeda ukuwina as my last remark. Masqeda ukuwina othi mina I haven't healed. Lesikhathi sincane ngokuhlalela ngale group mangisuka la ngoba angeke uthi asinodlala unabi uthi ukuthi azange sithi nakwazi ukukhuluma English. Angasifela ukuthi nakwazi ukukhuluma English. Asasazi French, akahamba ngena ama English classes asinodawa unabi uthi this is nonsense. Angeke umtshotho Ribeiro utfaka uDlamini. When as a coach not even seeing ukuthi he's gonna try and press uNqobo. He's gonna try and press uMarpi. That's why we couldn't even go forward. This piece khafel bola phezulu. Nkosi yami. Bese unokwinika. Angazi ukwinika ukwaba semalombolweni. Angimthola ukwinika yabona uthi mina kuphethe ikhanda mfethu kusemsebenzini ikhanda liyadraya. Angazi ngenze njani. Angeke umtshoko ukuthi
Ay, bungahambi. Yeah.
Just go 1 goal uthi masiqeda ukora ngicela abaseduze nonabi bampakele umthwalo wakhe uthi masiqeda ukuna le trophy sifuna hambile siyabonga siyabonga wena simphatalina speed Yabo, ask mara it's fine. Yeah, ngiyabonga ukuthi.
No, I think. Welcome. Kwatile guys.
No, yabona utiyo ibambile mfethu. Utiyo ukhuluma language yamakhosi straight.
Yeah.
Because I don't get why we have to toy now. The Chiefs fans are very strategic people. They know when to toy. So they are waiting for the final. We can't toy because we lost to Pirates. We can't toy because we lost to any other team for now, because the focus is for us to go and play the final. That's the big thing that we're looking for. It's been years when it's been years. We've never won a trophy. So let's just focus on that. And that's why I don't want to speak much about the Pirates game, because there's a lot of things that I saw there. And we've been speaking about them several weeks and months about the mistakes that Unabi is making, and he seems to not even be fixing anything of those things. So I don't want to go there much. That's why I'm going to be short on OT. Let's go and play the final. He just needs to make sure that we win that final. That's what he needs to do. He just needs to make sure.
So I want to ask, Nko, he wins the final. Does he get next season again? Does he get a preseason? Does he get signings? Do we forgive him and he carries on?
The thing is, each and every Chiefs fan understands that Nabi is not a good coach. I mean, like, how long does it take you to build a solid team, OT, as a professional coach? How long does that take you? And it's been evident that this guy cannot build his own solid team. Chiefs is playing like a newly assembled team. After so many months you've been at the Chiefs, you still play like you've just assembled players from different teams, and then you're playing a Pirates game. That cannot be. That's why I'm saying, whether he wins this or not, but I know that each and every Chiefs fan wants to win the final. It's been long. So, but he's not a good coach. I think we've established that. We've been speaking about Nabi here for how many months now? With the same mistakes that he does. There's no improvement whatsoever. There's nothing that we see that is like a light at the end of a tunnel for him. So we managed to get to the final. He still does the same things. How are we going to win that final on OT? I don't know. But the thing is, Chiefs fans want to win that final.
Okay.
End of story.
I'll let you go. Yeah, guys, a question for the comments. How has Debbie survived this long? Because now it seems like they're cheeky. Okay, so let me go into the next panel for tonight, the last panel for tonight. Okay. Theo mngani wami. Theo angithandi baba kenza so. Angithandi baba kenza so. Look, as I get oh, there we go. Black Viper. Linsa.
I didn't see next about bad.
Wesalang man ka final header lijikela nabi. Hasa fitlile.
No, Nagil Pagani ya Hotman. I can't say much about Navimun. Navimun, what I can tell you is that Uluzite 2-1, it could have been 3, could have been 4-1.
Oh,
and
God, man.
My only worry as a Pirates fan, as a Pirates fan, my only worry is Bafusite goal with you. Now, Saturday, oh, I fear for Chiefs, you are fit. I want to know what Babu Nabi must win that final buffet. Diamond, he's going to be in a lot of trouble Saturday. I read I noticed that kind of thing like he's saying. Okay. They're not going to go guns blazing. But about ambush a CAF speed. Because this is not Sundowns they are playing against. Pirates I know Sundowns. Pirates like Kaizer Chiefs, they know about against a team hangata like haba family but take a run by it. But I'm telling you right, we're boning that last Saturday. Pirates is gonna outgun them.
So then Marakiba Tawuta, is there a fear maybe Pirates or they might become overconfident because of that game? So the way Pirates in the last, let's say 20-30 minutes of that game, it's almost like, man, Nebali arrogant too much. Could there be that type of arrogance coming into Saturday? Number one, and then number two, midweek game alone doesn't play any role for Saturday.
Potsong ya pele ne Pirates, yes, they were a bit arrogant. That's why Kering Chiefs it tla be le mathata, because now Pirates ba learnile their most valuable lesson ring. We can't just approach games being arrogant. That's why Kering Pirates ba tlo batla ho destroy our Chiefs as quickly as possible. And that's not a good sign for Chiefs, because now Pirates se ba feara ntwana hore if they score first, they ba re fast rate re ska ra kora even one. Ho tloba bohloko for bona. So they are going to try to prevent such things with the etsahale. And game ya di 6 ya hosane is going to play a major role for Saturday, because some of the players that are mendizale hosane, they'll never be there. I did not until second half. Coach Arona, like he does these things because has a game important Saturday. All of the we do or we die. It doesn't matter Kenya mark. We do or we die. But then second half, it opens us to diamond. Yes, he's thinking about game ya Saturday. That's why getting the first thing Pirates do on Saturday will be to gruel down Chiefs as hard as they can. Because I'm telling you right now, when I'm told I am in the Palo baring Keba Vomba or Batwa Kenya Peters, Moto, Oto Pelu, a label Fuku, Hanola, Hankem to Oto Wakana. Because these guys, 2000 Saturday, Bakuweka 2 minutes. Ikeni Sonzabona and a coach higher. Or it's a fellow street guys. Hazala Kaizer Chiefs. We can't just play and saying Serokowa, 2 minutes, ka speed, Fellarolo, Haikabata. Haven't we allow us things to happen because they're gonna make sure she's a tolerable. So that's the thing that scares me the most of him. But like Babuagamlomu and Haba into practically. You can't wish to win. What's a practical? I know that's Sundowns. Okay, that's how Sundowns kept on winning the game because they don't just wish, they make it happen. Or now Tata rang by years. They've been practicing this thing for the last 8 or 7 years.
But then
we use this.
No, I wanted to ask you, but then for the last minute here, do you think that there is a chance of Chiefs maybe Libona seeing that, man, this is the final, hey, this is the final thing. If they win this thing, it fixes everything that has come the whole season. Do you think that the Chiefs could come into this game as a different team, knowing that this is the last, or it is the last opportunity for them to do something, and if they do something, well,
the only thing Chiefs can do is not let Pirates score.
Okay.
If Pirates doesn't score, Chiefs win again. If you let Pirates score, even equalize, So the only thing you could do, don't let Pirates score. But the winner final, but the winner that cup, make sure Pirates does not score, even one. Because if they score one, I'm telling you, someone's gonna throw paper, someone's gonna throw a bottle there.
Okay. For time, I'm going to jump in. Let me bring in Ongama. Ongama, welcome to the show. How are you?
How are you, Uti? I know we are disappointed, but I think it's better for us to go in that game with a level of disappointment, because we could have been over entertained and enjoyed and then forget about the final. So I think personally for me, for us to lose that game, it was a lesson in disguise to warn us on what was actually happening in that game, and for us to also to be conservative. I think the one thing that I want from Kaizer Chiefs in the next game, to be conservative. Let's give Pirates the ball. I want us to do what Pirates did in first half. Let's give them a ball. Let them control the ball position. Let us wait for our moments and then score the goals. That thing is important. When you are holding a lot of ball position, the teams that are on the other side, they usually win the games. So I think for me, when we are going that game, I would like my team to not control the ball position, but for us to wait for the moments. I know Abodu, but they are very sharp. When they get the moments and then they score them, I think it will be good for us. So For me, I'm disappointed with the results, but at the same time, there are lessons that I took in that game that will go for the final.
But I want to ask you,
Yeah,
some of
that's what
those,
my
some of those lessons are lessons that we should have learned all season long. Are we still consoling ourselves by saying that we're still learning lessons 20 what games into the league and going into like the final 2-week stretch? Are we just consoling ourselves?
You know what is the problem when I'll start this thing. Our players, when they win a game, they become overconfident, and there is an element of a psychological factor with Kaizer Chiefs. So, for me, I think it was important for us to not go overhyped, and then we end up not concentrating into the final because we won a Soweto derby. It was very important for us to not go into the level of complacency, because if we were won that Soweto derby, we would have faced a different Orlando Pirates that would be dangerous in the final. So when we go into the final, I think we will go there with some level of conservative, and also with the lessons of also us to know that if Orlando Pirates is coming this way, we need to defend this way. If Orlando Pirates is coming this way, we need to perform this way in order for us to be in a better position. I think that's another thing that we need to.
No, I want to ask you for the last minute here. Do you think that Nev is tactically flexible enough to be able to take advantage of whatever he's learned here? Because it seems as though a lot of people have been saying he's got one tactic, and if the tactic does not work, he falls away. How do you feel about that? And do you think that he'll be able to read Pirates and analyze and then come in and actually change some things? Is it possible, him and the players?
You know, what disappoints me when out is that when you put your trusted players from the bench, knowing very well that they can affect the game, but they don't affect the game. Players like Ashley Dupreez, players like Castillo, players like Thabo, they are not living up to the expectation. What I observed this season, most of our players, they don't come and change the game, most of them. So it's something that is concerning when OT. It's not because there is a level of technique when OT, but I feel like the players, when they go into the field, they don't live up to the expectations when they are going to the field. Whenever, even if there is not let me make an example. Let me not put Castillo. Let me make an example like Mduduzi Shabala is thrown out, or Gaston Serino is taken out and come as a sub. He doesn't come and affect the game. So it's actually concerning when I feel like sometimes I don't know whether players are reading the game or I don't know what is happening within the player, because when you're coming from the bench, you need to affect the game. Some of the players, you can't see whether they are in the field to deliver something. You don't even see their effect into the field of play. So it's something that is concerning when I feel like the coach is trying to make some tactical plans with the players, but players do not live up to expectations. That's my take when
Let me bring in Maronza. Maronza, as a Pirates fan, welcome Niwinile. 2-1, how do you feel about your team and its performance and the game?
Oti, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, Oti.
Oh, you guys can hear me. Comments, can you guys hear me? Okay, there we go. Maronza?
Oti, you're a little bit behind. I don't know why. Like, you're a little bit behind. It seems like, I don't know if it was...
Yes, we can hear you.
You see, I think it's take whoever was speaking now, Oti, can take him out because he's the one who's making everything true.
Okay. Let me see.
Yes. Can you hear me now, Oti?
I can hear you, but I can hear that echo in the background. Just go on talking, Maronza. It's okay.
Also, let me tell you something, right? Um, if Nabi was trying to save players for the final, it doesn't make sense. I think he is saving players, Sabutel and all those guys outside and all. You changing the back four, you doing that. It doesn't make sense, you know. You need to build a momentum, you know, for the final. So he was not building anything. I don't know. You know, like Nabi, man. I think there's one guy who speak up before earlier on. I'm fit abampagela mfethu. Ayakahamba ubaba mfethu. Ayakahamba ubaba mfethu. No. Like Oti, you ask a question and I feel like it is important. Skoshuzwani, who took a team from number 10 to number 4, and we chase him away. Now he's doing well at Amazulu. Right? We're leaving somebody to say because we're looking for a final, but we're getting relegated. It doesn't make sense. Let's be honest. Oba was supposed to be gone a long time ago, like Ahambile from that. But there's one thing that Chiefs supporters they did. They called for his head to say, I guess, hey, technical team. I think they were comparing him with Pitso to say, hey, Pitso and him and all those things. Technical team, they have their own technical team and all those things. He's here now, and he's doing worse than worst of all the coaches. Nabu Nzeki, Nabu Banban, he's the worst coach of Kaizer Chiefs. So I don't know what are they waiting for. But let me tell you something. If Chiefs lose on Saturday, I see people on the stadium in the field of play. Mark my words. If Chiefs lose, Nabi Bozum Kichimis. I'm telling you.
I want to ask you, Maronza, do you think that maybe part of this problem is an attitude problem at Kaizer Chiefs in general? So, for example, I've always said that inking ayetu is that we're always looking as the answer to Ile. Next season, transfer window, this and that, as lungisi now, where we are right now. And by the time we wake up, because they've woken up very late. Do you think that is a problem about Kaizer Chiefs and maybe what has made the decades-long wait?
I think, Oti, you are right. We're looking for answers, but we can see that we cannot find the answers. We're not finding the formula, right? But we're still stuck with one thing. If I told you last time, I think we're talking, me and you, I said if they want to rebuild a team, why are they still using FNB if they can use the Central Stadium? I still stick to that. Why Pirates are using DC players if you have somebody who's sitting on top there, right, on the VIP every day, right, but he's not doing anything, and then the DTC team won the DTC league, right? Why can't you promote players? I remember when Chiefs promote Abu Estein, there was this guy Vendaboy. I don't remember what that. I remember Abu. Who's this guy? Abu Quinika, Abu Ban, right? They had the best team, right? So why can't they do the very same thing? You understand me? I'm lost. Chiefs is lost. So they don't want to rebuild the team. They rebuild the team based on saying the fame and all that, the old Chiefs, Dallas Nama Cup and all that. It doesn't work that way. Football has changed. Football has changed completely. It's either you use the young ones or you go down. Now it's going down now. Remember, if they lose these 2 games that are coming after the final, do you know they're relegated? I don't think anybody can see that they can play the playoffs. With somebody now.
How far is Supersport is
26? Is that
26?
Now they're on 30.
So it's not. It's they can get a possible 6 points or 9 points, nah?
Yes.
Technically.
And if they choose to lose two games, that they're on the playoffs. I don't know if everybody can go and take a calculator and then you see they lose 2 games, they're playing the playoff there or they're relegated. And I think Chiefs supporters now, they're busy looking at Saturday's games. We're going to win the cup,
but they're not looking at the bigger picture to say we'd rather lose the final and then win these next 2 games and then stay in the PSL.
Okay. Maronza,
So
for
the
time.
calculator, I'm sure OT go and get a calculator and see. You'll see Chiefs, if they can lose the next 2 games, they're playing the playoffs.
Mara, for time I'm gonna jump in. For time I'm gonna jump in.
So somebody saying it's never, but I bet it can happen. And it will be the first time, and because you say you're history makers, you'll be the first time to make history of that sort. So
For
you are
time.
making the history.
For time, Baroza.
Abavula amabala
Yeah.
Saturdays bashaya bafethu abaSky Cup sambi sekhaya mfethu.
Let me go to. Let me bring it to Prati.
Otizo, bra Otizo, bamamedi mo phaleleng go jwang bra Otizo.
O reng Prati man ka team ya hao?
Bra Oti ke tla go ganetsana le mo buentsa tswa ka mo o re tlo go relegate-wa. Eo ka se etsa gale wa lo re la ka nka di calculator ya kae e ka se etsa gale bra Oti are ka la re ka lose the game say 2 days no way the teams tse di go tlase tse di se go dropa di points ya re go dropa di points mo le mo yes 80 yone bra Oti wa nnete re ka se e bone the way le gore re bapala ka teng but there's no way re ke go tshameka di playoffs. Cape Town City ke yone go tshameka ka bra 80 ga gona nnete e Maronza we bolelang mo bra Oti ene bra Oti a re ke thome ka gore go setse 5 days gore menyetsi ya di-fans ba re hey trophyless kae hey drought ya fela ka Saterdag ga bra Oti gore jang ga ke tsebe bra Oti gore yang mare kare go setse 5 days bra Oti ke tlo go ya kae kapa kae ke go tsena kae kapa kae. I will make sure bra Oti gore by Saturday ka Monday ha ke tla mo show re tla be re celebrate bra Oti re celebrate gore re win cup bra Oti 10 years e fedile so re tla build up from final bra Oti and ya weekend bra Oti e thata bra Oti ke disappointed more coach I think the players but now this is not the time or re shupe di player ka meno re he ba dlala se a re le bale ka tse di etsegetseng Saturday re ba prepare le so ba shupa ka ba that's why defense Chiefs di met re batla go ba prepare la final re batla go ba heletsa re ba tsenya stress re he luluzize ka Saturday a re ba blame after game ya Saturday ye bra Oti because of no ya nice na kwa gore re tlhola ntse re blame di player yes se se etsegetseng se sa etse ke nagana gore le bone se di players I think game tlo go ina ke bone character because of ke nagana Chiefs e tlalile mo Nedbank Cup this year it was different Chiefs than e tlalileng ko league bra o how check di teams tse re di biditseng bo Stellenbosch it was not easy la le one Sundowns ne go se easy bra Oti ke nagana le Saturday if re skala lose focus bra Oti ke nagana re moment re tlo go ina game by moments not by playing because of to be honest I don't want to lie Pirates is far better than us bra Oti ka go dlala bana ya bone ba better than us but ka di moments bra Oti ke nagana gore re tle go ina game but not by coach and ke dimana le batho ba le gore ke nagana gore le nna coach bra Oti o feitse bra Oti for now for after ke 10 months a le ko Chiefs mara still a re bone philosophy and ke nagana Nabi is a type of coach tse le gore di ka mo team le gore e na le di player o batla team le gore e na le di player tse le gore di kgona go dira tiro
nane kere wait if Nabi na fitile ka dinako tsa bo dinako tsa bo Papichi le bo Midendo po tsa pele ke coach e jwalo like Osaba Upola all those old coaches that came in bare 2 years the batsamai bana le spine se strong bo Mabedi bo Moki bo Mangmang bona fela ke gore ba kene ba but I think he's one of those coaches to be honest with you.
Yeah, to be honest bra Oti because ke nang ke coach hana bia ka ya go Sundowns bra Oti utlo go ina le ke utlo go ina di kapanyana tse ke nang ke gore for project I go bua nnete bra Oti I do believe gore Nabi is the right person but are tshepe gore maybe this final Nedbank Cup maybe it go mo fa that hope bra Oti then re bone go a go pele then gore maybe Chiefs le bone ba tla ba motivated. If re ka win a final ka Saturday, maybe management le yone tla ba motivated ya ba batlela di-player tse le gore di tlo fit like di-player straight tse di nang le character priority because of se segolo for ke gore team ya rona re thole di-player tse le gore di na le character. I'm not saying the current squad is not a good squad blah blah blah, but ke batla player tse le gore di na le character le gore player tse di kgonang go dira tiro with or without coaching bra OT. But ka re go setse 5 days bra OT ke tla be ke le fa ka Monday ba le ba Pirates ba le gore ba tle go tshameka bo makgopa bo what ba ka se se bone ka Saturday. Agree winner once a month. Winner rona ya bofelo ya season ke this Saturday re feditse bra OT. Thank you
Prati. Let me bring in Black Butterfly. The Black Butterfly, welcome to the show. How are you? Hey, wait, let me see. I'm gonna try and mute you. Yeah, okay. Black Butterfly, if it doesn't work, I'm gonna take you off, jump back on, and then that might help with the mic. While we wait for him, yo guys, I'm glad you guys are finally seeing the light. I'm glad you guys are finally seeing. Some of us are not speaking the way we speak because we hate Chiefs or things like that. But some of the things you see, we make so many excuses. We've made so many excuses for Coach Nabi this season. Oh, no, actually, let me bring in Black Butterfly. Black Butterfly.
Oh, how's it, gents?
I'm good, my brother. Tell me, how do you feel about the game, or how do you feel about Chiefs in general?
Good, man. We can't be good. We can't be good. You guys are laughing. This is not a laughing matter anymore. We are past that stage now.
Yeah.
Now it's embarrassing. It's frustrating. It's irreparable. Now tell me, you speak about the process and we're building. What are we building around? Because even Nabi doesn't have a standard team. We're changing a team every second week. Every week playing a different team in any case. So if Nabi has his way, next season, who's going, who's staying? Because I see the whole team going. I don't see anyone. Even the player that he brought, that guy is a first half player. The coach, everyone can see it. He can only play in the first half. How come the coach has never seen that before? You look at someone like Bafuma. Bafuma is conceding every game. Why are we conceding? Is it the defense? Because we're going to keep blaming the defense. But what is Bafuma doing to actually manage his defense? If I look at Bafuma and I compare him to Abo Kune and them, it's constantly talking and marshalling your defense because he's behind them. He can see exactly what's happening, who's running where half the time. So he should be actually then marshalling the defense properly and speaking to his defenders. That's what's going to make him a good goalkeeper as well. Why? Look at Cross. I mean, they were saying, hey, this thing was scripted, what. There's nothing was scripted. Bradley Cross is playing his heart out. And you find in every game when Kaizer Chiefs play, there's only 3 players that's really giving their all in a game. The rest, then they casual. Look at when we have the ball. How much off the ball running is there by our players? Besides just the ones who we score and turn football. But the players who are there around the player when he's got the ball, how many are actually opening up space? So Nabi doesn't teach these guys about diamond shape and this triangle method. So they aren't doing that in training. What are they actually doing in training? How is he coaching these guys? The reason why Pirates can play these youngsters is because they've got the confidence. Our players have got the arrogance. I keep saying that. What do they have to have that thing when they're on the field? A player's demeanor, you can see the way he carries himself. Look at our youngsters compared to all these other youngsters from Sundowns, from Pirates. Our youngsters, they feel they've made it in life now. So what is it? Are we paying our players too much? Or where's the problem? Because you can't say Kaizer Chiefs management, these boys are all spoiled. I think it's like everyone would want to work at Kaizer Chiefs because clearly there's no pressure from management. Everyone is just there. You're getting your salary. They're looking after you. It's probably the best company to work for. If you look at it. I mean, you're going to get your big wages. You're going to get your bonuses and nothing's going to happen. There's no side effects. There's no demands in place at the moment. We're just building for a process. What process are we building for? Because like I said, even if you watch the DDC team, look at those youngsters, their attitudes alone when they're playing. Their mindset is different. They're there to win and enjoy the football. Whereas the youngsters that we have, I'm struggling to see that hunger. That's why I said, if you look at Bradley Cross, I'm using him as an example because he was the best player. He was actually man of the match in that game. For me, when you look at his overall approach to the day, it's totally different. He's going to work his socks off. And I haven't seen, you see that happening sometimes with Tuba. You see it happening when Kale always is there. Now and then, okay, he's going to mess up now and then. But when he does actually decide to switch on, because the Chiefs likes this thing, switch on. I don't see players switching on. Look at Solomon's. When he's switching on, he's switching on. So we need more of that hunger in the team, and that's our biggest problem at this point. But as for Saturday, as a Chiefs fan, I don't even know where the goals are going to come from because we can't create chances. We haven't even, the goals that we scored is not goals that were created in a proper way. It was always by mistake. It's by lack of fluke. Even when that goal went in, we were surprised. It was no one expected that because we don't know where the goals are going to come from. So this week, I don't even know when we play Pirates, I don't even know where the goals are going to come from. But if we get this cup, who can fluke?
No. Black Butterfly, for time, I'm going to jump in. Yo, guys, you've said so much. I want to speak about. But thank you guys for jumping in, the panelists for jumping in. This is what I want to do. Guys, kupa na ako lin naman. Kupa okay na lin. We've given this team too many excuses. And I think we've excused every single thing about this team. You speak, I'll go through some of the excuses. We speak about injuries. I am looking at the physios, the physical trainers, the water trainers. I'm looking at them and I'm saying, what do you guys do every day? Because consistently people are injured. Consistently people are unfit. For fitness. I get to say he's fit, he's unfit. Oh no, he comes from America. Yeah. I get. Our Castilla in and out. All of these players getting injured and coming in and out for a team that doesn't play that many games. Pella, next season we're going to be playing Africa, just by the way, as well. Traveling, jet lag, what, you name it. So I look at them and I say, Mara guys, what are you doing every day to make sure that these players are fine then? You look at the tactics. I am towards the end of the season and I don't know what Chiefs' play is. I know that they're free form, they try and attack with 6 players, and everybody runs everywhere. It feels like it's 6 players playing free role. But in terms of how you're going to get goals, I don't know. It's just about trying to overwhelm the other team, score a goal or 2, and then go and tibang at the back. Sorry, I just saw another one that I'm writing down. You know, when you look at tactically that team, there's so many things that pop out. So, for example, Bradley Cross, over the past few weeks, has looked incredible as part of a back three, as a left center back that is supported by whoever's playing wing. It was a great fix for the problem from early in the season where there's nobody covering him. He's playing pure left back. He's running up and down. That makes him look weak, right? That put him into tough conversation, tough places. Then he gets injured and Ditlokwe comes in and makes it a back three, and now we start to see a solid defense. Ditlokwe is sold. We'll get to transfers. Cross comes back in and looks great. I would have even put him as the left center back and maybe Dove out wide. But in any case, we come back to this game, we do the same mistakes that we have been doing the whole time. You look at the midfield. Let me ask you guys, who's the 6? Who's the 8? Who's the 10? Our 10 is on the wing. Our 6, one of the 2 supposed 6s, then you've got Ngobo. What's Ngobo going to do defensively? What's Ngobo going to do? Let's be honest with each other. Already, you're shoehorning Kele into that position. So again, maybe it's not about being super technical. I look at it and I go, okay, Coach Nabi, you've had, I think now it should be more than 30 games with this team. You're telling me that up to this point, You cannot give these guys, at the very least, tactics where guys keep it simple. Nyakwazi ukuthi you're not a class defender. So we're going to keep it simple. We know Uzita shakes during games. We know Uzita when it's one-on-one. So then why tell Solomons to go all the way up? Why push Solomons? Knowing also that you don't have a 6. We know that Utove likes to jump out. He can't sit still. He likes to go and chase. He favors the left-hand side. He likes to go and chase. He's going to put your defense out of... We know this. Why is none of this being fixed, guys? Why is none of this being fixed? You don't need, you don't need a strong defense. You need 5 guys who are told, guys, don't do anything fancy. Zita, we're not building up through you. Tove, sit back. Mtetwa, come in and stand in front of the guys, even if it's just the body. If you're playing wing on the other side, support cross. He struggles when he's overwhelmed. I can tell you this. I'm telling you this. What do they do all day? If I'm an analyst at Kaizer Chiefs, if I'm a tactician at Kaizer Chiefs, what do I do all day? That's tactics. Let's talk about tactical subs. We watched Coach Jose make a change in the game after he saw something going wrong. We watched Coach Cardoso make a change when something is going wrong. He understands his players. He knows where they're going to play. Now, guys, when last at Kaizer Chiefs did you see a tactical substitution that changed the way the game is being played? That fixed the problem that we were having. Now, tactical can even be as simple as you've got a man who's got a yellow card. You are still not covering him. He's going to go 1v1 versus Unkota. What's going to happen? What is the most likely outcome? Red card. Sandu on the other side had a yellow. Do you know what he did? Jose. He changed. So now I'm even questioning those things where you go, oh, hang on. Nama basic wake. And you know what's funny? I don't know what it is at Chiefs. I don't know if it's the water in Chorena. I don't know what it is, right? Remember we had this problem. Was it last season or the season before? Where we were getting red cards over and over and over and over again and nobody was fixing anything. Again, I ask, when you go onto that thing, when you go to Naturena Upakile Peki every morning at 8 a.m. to go work, what are you doing as an analyst? What are you doing as assistants? What are you doing as coach when you get there? What are you analyzing as analysts? What are you telling them? Okay, guys, here, if you watch the show, there's 50 people here that can tell you everything that's wrong with Kaizer Chiefs. There's another 50 that could tell you some very creative fixes. What do they do every day? Fine. Tactical subs. Let's talk about the players. I hear you guys talking about quality, heads are down, they're not doing whatever. Guys, part of a coach's job is man management. Part of a coach's job is to figure out how to motivate those guys. If you listen to Coach Pitso when he speaks, he always says, when I arrive at the team, I have to get the players here before I can ask them to do anything else. Part of my job is to make sure that those guys are on board. You hear Coach Gavin Hunt speaking about, hey, I saw the guys were dropping during that idiskitv interview. I saw the guys were dropping, so I gave them the week off or whatever. We had a pry. Or Lorna, he wasn't playing well. He was what, I got a girl to what. Yeah, that's part of your job. Especially after 30-something games. That's not a language problem, guys. I am sorry. That's not a language problem. Coach Nabi is an experienced coach. You cannot tell me that such an experienced coach usulwa language after coaching in Tanzania, after coaching in Morocco. Language. You're telling me that that's the problem. You're telling me that you can't go into Google Translate and do the thing you were doing in Tunisia to get your players on side. You're telling me. You're telling me that there is a psychologist that was hired at Kaizer Chiefs. You're telling me that that person is not doing their job. Communication for 30 games. Guys, Wadu. Wadu. Where Maruma Kalans? What English does he speak? What English do the other guys speak? He can speak very good English. He could probably speak on par with Jose Rivero in terms of English. We see it when he wins. Magawina. Isilungu siyaphuma. Angisho coach wethu. So you're telling me that a language barrier problem trumps experience. What happens to Coach Pitso when they go into another country that speaks a different language? What happens? You're telling me that all of those guys, don't know. Guys, let's be honest. Anyway, next one, transfers. Another thing I always hear is what? What do I hear? Oh, quality players, we need to sign. We've signed 8 players this season. On top of the players we brought in, Cross is the new player. Miguel is the new player. Cirino is a new player. Tele is a new player. Blom has come in as a new player. Lilepo is a new player. Morris is a new player. Again, are we going to sit down and act like any of those players are so bad that they're number 10, 11 possibly? You're telling me that with, Dottley, Bongani said, you're telling me that all of those players, you would take Makesi players over those guys. Well, they're 3 points behind us. You would take Chipa United players over those guys. Well, they're ahead of us. You take Amazulu players ahead. Kamelite, I love what you're saying. So now I ask the question of Coach Nabi as well and of management. If we're saying that it's not his players, Mankuluma before the season started, what must happen? Remember I said to you guys, Ntwari, yes. Remember I said to you guys, Mina, I said, Chiefs should not sign anyone. This season should be a season where they sit down with the coach and they go, Coach, we are preparing. In fact, this should have happened last season. 6 months before the end of his contract, they should have sat down and said, okay, Coach Nabi, Maufiga, what do you want? When Fernando da Cruz lands, what was the point of the squad audits and all of that stuff if then the players that are signed after that are not of the coaches? Is he not then part of the issue by agreeing to get those players? And then do you trust him then next transfer window to get his players, or for Chiefs to listen to him? Or are we not repeating the same things over and over and over again? Did I not say here that, guys, don't sign anyone? Figure out what you want to play. Figure out what you want to do. Figure out how you want to scout. They brought scouts and people from Sundowns. Figure out what you want to do. Don't get into a situation where you're bringing in players and we're putting contracts on top of contracts on top of contracts, because those are 3-year contracts, 4-year contracts, 5-year contracts that you are bringing into the team. Morris is here for 3 years. It's harder to get rid of those players when they are there. So then I ask again, when you look at the transfers, what conversation was had at the beginning of the season when Coach Nabi arrived? If we're saying, it's not the guys. And are we not holding him and management accountable to say, Maranina, because you can't be complaining in the middle of the season. You've signed 8 players on top of how many players you signed last season. Anyway, let's move on. Structure for youth. Fundo Vilakazi is not getting better. Zwane is not getting better. Do is not getting better. And I don't want to go deeply into this one because, guys, I have a podcast episode where I speak about this. But I want to show you something. Do you understand that currently the big difference between Mhamkota and Dushabalala is that Mhamkota has a structure around him. Du is carrying Chiefs. Now think about it. You're asking a guy who was meant to be developing to carry. Fukeng can be out of a game for 80 minutes. But because there's other old heads around him and there's a structure, they protect them. Unkota, how many balls does Unkota lose in a game? How many balls did Nkota lose in the last 30 minutes of that game? Do you know what's nice about it? It's nice because Nkota is not carrying Pirates here. Imagine we're asking these kids to carry Chiefs. Now that managed to get onto the pitch. Then we wonder 5 years, 3 years, 4 years from now when they are another Nkosimpile Ngobo. What's happening with Nkosimpile Ngobo? Tell me. Great hope. Again, we've been saying that every year, he's the one, he's the one, he's the one. Do you know what happened? He couldn't develop properly. There's no structure. This is what you get. A really great, talented player who just couldn't make the next step. Think about Abu Khatebe, Abu Mahlatsi. Think about the DDC team that's coming in. The structure must be right. And if you watch my podcast, I go into the other players that are meant to be supporting these kids. But anyway, let's move on for time's sake. Even when you go down to goalkeeping, what is the goalkeeping coach doing every day? I can see we got rid of Reina Tinkelaka. Reina Tinkelaka was the guy who was the brains. He came with Ernst Middendorf. He was the guy that gave us the best performances from Abaro and Fernandez, who built Abokune, who built those guys. You get rid of him. You bring in Ntwari Kana. Ntwari is also another signing. You bring in those guys and you go, okay, what must happen? I made the point today about Mamelodi Sundowns that at Mamelodi Sundowns players are getting better. They're getting better. Which player at Kaizer Chiefs can you say has improved? And it's not to say that I'm writing out those players or I'm writing off those players for their own. They need to take their career seriously. But everybody's meant to come together so that you can create something. Now, we are 30-something games in and still we are going, no, we are cooking. And I would like to end off with that. Well, I wonder if you keep fixing in the future, if you keep fixing January 2026, oh no, everything will be fine. You take away all of the little work that you need to do building up to there. Because management feels like Nabi will be a magic answer. Nabi feels like the players will be magic answers. The players feel like the next person will be magic answers. The fans feel like the next one. It's not magic, it's daily work. Which is why I ask, what do you see every single day at Kaizer Chiefs that is showing you that they're doing the work in requisite? Or are they just throwing things? Okay, today we're trying Kevin Johnson. We're not going to give him signings or time. It looks like people are shaky. Okay, we're going to throw in Blifintseki. It doesn't look like it's working. You know what? Hey, we'll figure it out as we go along. We'll throw in Kevin Hunt. We'll throw in Stuart Baxter. We'll throw in. Why? Because every day it's for there. Guys, Abu Rabatol are working at Makis. Is it Makis? Yeah, at Makis. How many games did he win in a row? You don't play Chiefs and Pirates every single day. You have to go out and beat the people that you are in front of. And if we're joking and we're saying 1 win a month, guys, most players under psychological pressure, that's why they don't perform. Then you fix that, Ongamba. Do you know why you fixed that? Now, the pressure is not going to be different next season. You think that the pressure will be different when they're playing in the CAF Confed on top of everything else next season? When do you fix it? I think guys, that's my issue here. When are you going to fix it? Because we're sitting with 10 years without a trophy because every time you're meant to fix something, you are not fixing, you are pushing it. We're pushing it to next season. We're pushing it to the season after. We're pushing, see push. You wake up and you're 10 years in the hole. All of the things that we're speaking about right now, are things that you're meant to be fixing now. Are we going to wait until preseason to try and fix 3 years of trauma? We're going to wait until preseason. And then we're going to start the league. And we're going to want to fix then. And we're going to start whatever. We're going to want to fix then. Guys, I'm sorry. Every day is an overhaul. Every day is an overhaul. Guys, we basically bought a new squad. over the past 2 seasons. We've bought a new squad, a completely standalone new squad. Every season, overhaul, guys. But anyway, guys, I've gone over. Please check out my podcast episode on Overthinking Football Show, the Overthinking Football Show on YouTube. I speak about some of the youth things. I speak about some of the senior things. I've also got an interview with Jordaan Milford there where we break down a lot of the questions that we have here. We speak about them from the Grootman's experience. Thank you to everybody that jumped in. Remember, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday is when the show is on. If you've missed anything, they are available in full on YouTube. So you can go to YouTube live right now. You can go to YouTube. You can watch any of the previous episodes. We've had some incredible conversations. It's not just reviews and things like that, right? I also put out content almost every single day. So guys, please support. Thank you to those that gave gifts. Penyo, Pumla, Ngocha, Kodani, Ben, Khalifo, Amanzi, Black Butterfly, Sipo, Papa Khosi, Tsepo, Tio, Boss Widzo, Doggies, Richard Mbula. Thank you guys so much for the gifts on that side. It really does go a long way. So please support. Like, share, comment, do it, everything. And again, last secret, if you ever see a brand thing on my profile, if you ever see an advert for something or whatever, please like those videos, comment on those videos. Engagement and things like that bring the brands back. And if you want to be part of the Overthinking Football WhatsApp group, send me a DM. That is where 24/7 some of the smartest people, we have some incredible conversations, and a lot of them spill over into the show. So if you want to be part of the WhatsApp group, send me a DM and I'll let you know. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you then tomorrow at 7 p.m. Bye everyone.